The desert stretched endlessly under the dying light of the sun, jagged ridges casting long shadows across the sand. Dust whipped through the air, stinging eyes and clinging to every surface. The faint echo of distant gunfire drifted over the horizon, a reminder of danger just out of sight. A team of U.S. Marine snipers lay prone, rifles trained on their targets, hearts pounding, nerves taut, but each shot missed. Amidst the tension, a shadow moved with calm precision across the rocks. She crouched behind a jagged boulder, eyes scanning the horizon with the practiced patience of someone who had survived worse than any ordinary soldier could imagine. Her rifle glinted in the fading sunlight, and the wind tugged at her uniform and hair, but she remained perfectly still, a study in discipline and control. Those who didn't know her would have passed by without a second thought, but trained eyes recognized something extraordinary in her movements. Her hands, rough and calloused, adjusted the rifle with meticulous care. Small scars ran across her fingers and wrists, and the edges of her uniform were frayed, faded from long months and unforgiving conditions. A worn patch glimmered faintly on her sleeve, a relic of past missions that few outside classified briefings would ever understand. Her expression was calm, composed, but the sharp focus in her eyes hinted at countless nights spent on watch, countless missions where failure had not been an option. She crouched low behind the rocks, observing the battlefield, breathing steadily despite the chaos surrounding her. To the untrained eye, she was just another Marine. To those who knew what she was capable of, she was a force unseen yet undeniable. Every movement, every breath carried the weight of experience, precision, and quiet heroism. The team leader's eyes flicked toward her, frustration etched across his face. "Missed again? How is this possible?" he muttered, shaking his head. His gaze caught hers for just a moment, and something shifted, a spark of recognition, an acknowledgement of skill that had never been seen in public records. She adjusted her rifle again, small, precise movements that revealed a practiced hand. Every gesture exuded confidence, control, and discipline. The younger Marines glanced at her, curiosity and awe evident in their wide eyes. She didn't look up. She simply prepared, her focus unwavering, her posture perfect. She had been through missions that would break most soldiers, yet here she was, silent, composed, ready to act where others faltered. Memories flickered across her mind 12 months ago. Hostile terrain, chaotic gunfire, teammates in peril. She had moved like a ghost, rescuing her unit under impossible odds, saving dozens of lives while remaining unseen. In classified briefings, she was referred to as Spectre, the woman who appeared when needed and vanished before accolades could be given. She remembered the cold wind biting at her face, the way her rifle felt like an extension of her own body, and the grim satisfaction of a mission completed without fanfare. Flashbacks of victories, sacrifices, and narrowly avoided failure crowded her mind, but she allowed no hesitation to show. Recognition had never been the goal. Precision and survival were what mattered. "Are you sure you can handle this?" whispered one of the younger Marines, his voice trembling with uncertainty. She glanced briefly in his direction, her expression calm. "Impossible isn't in my vocabulary." "I've done worse," she replied softly, almost detached, but every word carried the weight of experience. Another Marine asked, barely above a whisper, You did that alone." She gave a slight nod. "It's not about being alone. It's about making it count," she said. The team leader's jaw tightened as he observed her, a mixture of awe and disbelief evident in his expression. Her hands were steady, fingers brushing against the worn patch on her uniform as she measured wind, distance, and angle. Small gestures revealed years of training and experience, and for the first time that day, her teammates began to understand the magnitude of her skill. The sun dipped lower, and the shadows lengthened across the rocks. She exhaled, lining up her rifle with meticulous precision. Time seemed to slow as she steadied herself, the wind whipping around her, dust curling in intricate patterns. Her fingers squeezed the trigger, the rifle barked once, and simultaneously 3 distant targets dropped with perfect accuracy. The Marine team froze in disbelief, mouths opening and closing as they processed what had just occurred. How did you? The team leader finally stammered, awe and astonishment coloring his tone. She lowered her rifle, breathing steady, eyes scanning the horizon, entirely calm. Pride did not show in her expression, only focus and an unspoken understanding that the mission, not recognition, had been the goal. Later, as the sun finally disappeared behind the desert ridges, bathing the world in twilight hues, she rested on a rock with her rifle across her lap. The team gave her space, an unspoken acknowledgement of the skill and composure they had witnessed. One of the younger Marines approached cautiously. "Thank you for showing us what real skill looks like," he said quietly. She offered a faint smile, a rare moment of softness breaking through her composed exterior. "It's not about showing. It's about doing it right. Every time," she replied. Her eyes reflected the last light of the day, calm, resolute, yet carrying the memories of countless battles, sacrifices, and sleepless nights. She stood and began walking across the ridge, her silhouette outlined against the fading light. The desert wind tugged at her uniform, but her movements remained precise, measured, and assured. Some would never know her name, some would never understand her story. But those who did knew the truth. She was the woman who could do what others could not, who could turn the impossible into reality, and whose courage, skill, and resilience left an indelible mark on those who witnessed it. One bullet, 3 targets, a lifetime of experience distilled into a single act of precision, the impossible made real. And as she disappeared into the shadows of the ridges, she carried with her the quiet heroism of a soldier unseen, a guardian who would always be remembered by those who mattered most.